Good morning, yogis. Beginning in a comfortable seat with perhaps your right leg in front. I'm going to start with my right leg in front. Sitting up on a little blanket if you need. Maybe cross-legged isn't even comfortable for you, so you might want to extend one or both legs. You could do that in this warm-up series, so make it comfortable for you. And whatever leg's in front, make note so that we can switch it halfway. And then connect sits bones to earth. Maybe even close your eyes just for a moment to drop in. Lengthening up through the torso. Connecting with breath. Landing here in this moment, in this place, in this body. No concerns about what you might have to do later or what came before. Like Thursday's practice, we're just going to be here now and breathe and adjust. So today's practice will be some side bending and some twisting, mostly to focus on twisting. So letting go of any tensions that you may have been holding on to, any concerns, any worries. It's hard to hold on to stuff, even thoughts, when we're in deep twists. So, but again, always go as deep into the different shapes, into the poses, as feels comfortable for you. So, with a smooth, easy breath, we can flutter our eyes open, and we'll start to move. So this next inhale, we'll add arms. We'll send our arms wide to the sides, so we're broad across our collarbones. Extend the arms overhead, relaxing shoulders. And then with a toned belly hinging from your hips, hinge forward, keeping a long spine, your heart lifted, and lower your hands down. Ground your hands into the earth, planting the hands and sending the sits bones back. And breathe here for a breath or two. If it feels better for you to round, you can, but I always like to encourage length so that we're getting longer. Creating space for energy and breath. Now let's go to a little bit of a side bend by walking our hands over to the right. But keep the left sit bone grounded. You might feel it wants to lift off. Ground it down. Breathe in here. Maybe send the left hand a little farther forward of the right, even if it's like a fraction, a millimeter, and breathe into the left side body. Adjust if this is too much. Just make it feel good. Good. Take one more breath here. And then we're going to start to rise up by walking our hands in and bring left hand onto the right knee, right hand behind the back. If it doesn't touch the earth easily, you can get one of your blocks. Lift up, get long. Feel the rotation start in your belly. And then you could add your gaze. So get some rotation in your neck by looking, at the height of your eyes and look back behind you. And breathe here. Feeling this rotation starting in the belly and then move up through the crown of your head. Next exhale, we'll de-rotate, but keep the right hand behind us to some degree. Left hand meets it. Fingertips touch the earth. Lift your sternum. Take an extension. Maybe lift your gaze. Yeah. Good. Nice. And then release. Come back to neutral. Arms back up to the sky. We'll do the other side. Exhale, hinging forward. Grounding hands. Lengthening. Noticing the second round. Maybe you go into it a little bit with more ease. Walk your hands over to the left. And maybe send that right arm a little farther forward, or the right fingers. Keep right sit bone grounded, breathing into the right rib cage. One more breath here. And then we'll rise up. Right hand on the left knee, left hand behind the back. Get long. Lifting your heart. Lengthening through your neck, feeling neck nice and long. And then following your sight line, look back behind you. And then one more breath. And let's unwind. Bringing the right hand back behind us again to get a little extension. Lifting your heart. Squeezing shoulder blades together. So the shoulder blades support the back of your heart. Maybe even lifting your gaze. Leading with your chin. Good. Then come on back to neutral. Noticing how that little sequence felt. So now let's add on and deepening all of those movements. And we'll start by keeping that right leg in and center your left leg out. You can add some flexion to the ankle, rotation. Good. Good. And then get long here, breathing, grounding both legs. Nice. And then we'll take a little rotation here. So really lengthen through your torso. Draw your navel towards your knee and bring your left hand onto your knee. The right hand behind the back. So take another twist here. Noticing how it feels second time. And then stay here. Again, navel pointing in line with that knee. Send your right arm out. Broad across your collarbones, lift it a little higher, really reach it away from you, and then send it up and overhead in line with your ear. And breathe here. Breathe into the right side body. Again, come up if it's too much. Just make this feel good. Feel that you're creating more space, you're deepening your breath. Even neutralizing energy. Take one more breath, and then we'll rise back up and bend our left knee. So for our sage twist, you could keep that left foot kind of out to the side, like a little 90-degree angle. You could bring that top foot in next to your hip. And then, or you even actually could bring the shins so they're kind of like this. Even the foot wraps into that little crease between your thigh and your calf. So that's a nice way. A lot of variations for this one. We're going to ultimately twist to the right. Okay. So find what's comfortable for you. Bring that left hand onto the right knee again. Right hand behind the back. Ground through both sits bones. Tall in the belly. Lengthen through crown of head. Good. See if you can get your heart, your navel and your heart more to the right. And then keep your torso where it is, but derotate your gaze back towards your left knee. And breathing here. And then unwind. Send that left leg out. You could even windshield wipe your legs a little bit if that feels like it might be nice. You know, whether bent or straight, just get some movement in the hips after that. Good job. Okay, now we'll draw that left leg in, right leg out. Same thing. Ground, activate legs, maybe add some movement to your right ankle so that when we do that sage twist, it's a little bit more prepared. Go in both directions. Okay, nice. And then from here, start to rotate your torso so that your belly lines up with the left knee. Right hand on the knee. Lengthen torso. Send this arm out to the side so you're broad across your chest. Arm reaches up, but keeps reaching away to create even more length. Then send it overhead in line with your ear and reach towards your foot. Breathe into the left side. One more breath. The next inhale will rise us up, and then we will bend our right knee. Find the position. So maybe it's the thigh crosses over like your ankle and the foot comes into the little crease. Maybe the leg just stays out, wider is better. Maybe on the top of the foot, so the heel's by the ankle. And the other option is also this bent leg, this foot could come into the hip crease. But if you go for that, just make sure that your knees feel okay, right? That you're not feeling pain in either one of your knees. And then start to rotate towards that left knee, right hand on your knee, left hand on the earth behind you, so you can get a nice rotation, starting from your belly, moving through the chest, up through the crown of the head. Again, maybe you take that partial bind, so you can hand behind the back. Beautiful. So find your fullest rotation. Inhale here, and then exhale, derotate your gaze and look back towards your right knee or your left toes. And then slowly bring your gaze to neutral, unwind your arms, unwind your legs. You could add another windshield round if you like. And then we'll start to transition into our tabletop. Okay. So here we are in our tabletop. Okay. Make sure your hands are on your shoulders, knees are under your hips. And then let's send our right leg out for a little different variation. So you're gonna have gate legs. Okay. And then with your toned belly, inhale, send your tailbone to the sky, drop belly, lift heart and gaze. Exhale, tuck tailbone, round spine, and dropping head. So go back and forth like that a few rounds. Noticing the difference. If it doesn't feel comfortable to have the leg extended because maybe it puts too much pressure on the one standing knee, then feel free to take a regular table or prop your knee. Last time. And then take the cat pose for an extra breath, pressing the earth away, feel opening in the back body, and then come back to neutral. So we're going to take a rotation here. Ground your right hand, send your left arm up to the sky, open up through your chest as much as you're able. And then exhale, that left hand behind the right and reaching towards your right foot. And 2 more times like that. Inhale, open. Exhale and twist, threading the needle. Last time, and we're going to hold it. So reach open, exhale, and thread the needle. Stay here if you're good, or lower down so that your shoulder and the side of your head comes onto the earth. And try not to twist your torso. So keep your torso long, come onto the side of the head. And then you could even have that right arm, could rest, come forward. So you can peek under your arm, get more length on the side body. It could come up to the sky. It could come behind the back. So see what feels comfortable for you, but careful of the neck. You may even find that you need to prop underneath your head. One more breath. And then release your right hand down to the earth, like more towards the right side of your body, right towards that right leg or your left hand. And then start to lift up. And we're going to fold right into our side bend. We're going to come up by walking the hands over towards the right leg, maybe even holding on to the right leg with your right hand somewhere. And then start to lift up by bringing that left arm toward your left ear, peek under your arm, and sort of blossom open. And then here you are with your left arm to the sky, long line from knee to fingertip. Inhale and exhale and fold to the right. And then inhale, open, and exhale, fold to the right again. And inhale and exhale, fold to the right. One more time and we'll hold. Inhale, exhale, fold and hold, and breathe here. And even draw that left arm back. So you're spinning your heart open. That way your whole body's on one plane except for the back calf. And I'm feeling a deep stretch from my knee through my hip flexor. Oh, feels so good, right? Breathe with it. Adjust, come out of it if it's too much. And now this next time, we're going to come out of it. We're going to go all the way down into our side plank, modified side plank. So you can bring your hand onto the earth. Maybe, it's kind of in line with the knee and that foot. Press your hips forward, because probably when you bent down, bring the hand onto the ground, your hips went back. You can see mine are kind of going back. But then once I get settled, I'm going to press my hips forward. Now, if it's hard to do that, maybe because, maybe it's going to be helpful to have a little prop under your hand to elevate that hand to bring your hips forward. So see what feels comfortable for you. Good. And here we go. Let's lift the arm to the sky. Now we can send our arm overhead in line with the ear and lift the back leg or the right leg. Or you could even go into your full side plank by extending both legs with your feet stacked forward to back or on top of each other. Take a couple more breaths here, spinning your heart open, lifting your hips, and then windmill that right hand down. Bring the other knee or both knees down to the earth, back into your tabletop. And if you want, you could just take a little child's pose right here. Take a little forward bend. So this is a forward fold. Noticing how this feels today. It's our first child's pose. So you can get the press with your hands, press the hips back towards the heels. Now remember, child's pose isn't always easy for everyone. Honor how you're feeling in your knees. Maybe lift your hips a little bit to create space there. Maybe lift your hips all the way over the knees for puppy pose. And of course, maybe keep your head elevated. All right. Now we'll rise up, everybody, to table. And let's do that whole sequence on the other side, this time with our left leg out. See what feels comfortable for you. I keep my foot dorsiflexed, but you can have your foot pointed, I suppose. And then from here, let's take some cat-cows. Inhaling and exhaling and noticing how they're feeling now. Noticing your breath and your mind state now. One more. Hold this last exhale, maybe even holding empty. Create opening in the back body. And then come back to neutral. Good job. Tone your belly for our rotation. So we're supporting the spine. Left hand grounds, right arm sweeps the sky, heart opens. Exhale, right hand behind the left, reaching towards the left leg. And then a couple more times. Inhale, open. Exhale and twist. Last time, inhale, open. Exhale, thread the needle, and we're going to hold at whatever degree feels comfortable for you. So you may want to go down onto the side of your head. One more breath cycle. And then walk that left hand, towards your left foot. Come up onto your right hand. Let the left arm rest on the leg somewhere. Ankle, thigh. And then send your right hand past your left foot and then start to peek under it as you roll open into our side plank. Parigasana. Yeah. Get long from right knee to fingertips. Inhale here, exhale and fold. Inhale. So Parigasana means gate pose. So I feel like this is a gateway to a lot more opening. Feel all that, the fuller breath and energy on the right side. And then hold here, breathing. Nice. Getting that deep stretch right in your psoas, in the rib cage, the intercostal muscles. And then this time when we rise up on the next inhale, we'll go all the way down to our Ardha Vashisthasana, that side plank. Pressing hips forward, make any modifications. Tone your belly. So take a lot of core strength here. Top arm. Well, you can even rest by your side if it doesn't feel comfortable, right? And stay here, maybe lifting the leg or extending and lifting your arm or coming into your full variation. And then slowly, we're going to make our way down. Lower onto our knees. Let's go back into a child's pose, a puppy pose, whatever feels comfortable for you. Take one of those. So second time, maybe you're able to sink a little deeper, bringing hips closer to heels, head closer to the earth. Nice. And then we will rise up and we're going to go into a dog pose. So this will be our only dog pose for this practice. So rise up from table, send your hands a little farther forward, curl your toes under, hips back, and then send hips to sky. Toning belly, spinning inner arms forward, so heads between your arms. And maybe pedal your feet out. Yeah, it feels good. Walking, like you're walking the dog, rocking your hips side to side. And then see if you can bring that to stillness. Even if you need to keep your knees bent, send your hips skyward, melting your heart, and breathe here. Now you can stay here for a few breaths, or there is an option to take another twist. Surprise, right? So we can open up our feet a teeny tiny bit, not much. They're hip width. Maybe mine are a little wider. Right. So then I'm going to ground into my left hand. I'm going to pick up my right hand and take hold of my left leg somewhere. And then I'm going to peek under my left arm and take a twist here in my dog. And then you can switch, go to the other side. And then come back to your dog pose. Oh yeah, that felt good, right? And look up towards your hands. Walk your feet towards your hands. And then stay here, even if you soften your knees. So stay here in your forward fold. In fact, let's even lift out once. So let your hands climb up your legs. Look forward. Get long through the torso. And then go back into your fold. And maybe let's stay here for a moment. Maybe you could even hold on to your big toes with your yogi toe lock. Bending your elbows out to the sides and bringing your head closer towards the earth, really deepening your fold. One more breath. And then let's release, getting long again. Ardha Uttanasana, and then go back into your Uttanasana, bend your knees, hands onto your hips, and use your strong legs to rise you up. Arms by your sides. And notice how you feel now. All right. So have your blocks to the right side of your space. We're going to face the long edge of our mat. And when you're ready, we'll step or hop out. A little extra energy when we hop. Always good to hop. And then also, I always find when I land, it reminds me to lift up. And I catch my the pelvic floor, that Mula Bandha, draw the navel in, Uddiyana Bandha. It just helps me to engage and support my core a little bit more. Bring your heels in, toes out. Send your arms to shoulder height. Turn your palms forward. Spread your fingers wide, make them bright, and then even lift your arms a little higher. 5-pointed star. Take a few breaths here, really arms wide to the side. This feels so good. Take one more breath. And then we're going to take an inhale, send our arms a little higher, and then bend elbows and knees and take our Devyasana. Good. Let's do that a few times. Inhale, rise back up, straightening, extending arms and legs. Exhale, squatting down. And as you're doing this, make sure that you're shifting your weight back towards your heels, that you're trying to keep the toes pointing in the direction of the knees so that your knees feel happy and there's no pain in the knees. That'll be tricky. So make sure. Knees, and then if that is the case, then you might want to shorten your stance. So one more time, and this time we'll stay into our Devyasana, and we're going to turn it to a side bend, of course, right? So now bring your right forearm onto your thigh. That left arm could reach up towards the sky as we reach over. Now let's stay here with our legs, come back up through the Devyasana, and then side bend over to the left. A couple times like this. Back through center, maybe going deeper toward Devyasana, honoring the knees, fold to the right, spinning your heart open, breathing here. Back through Devyasana, last time over to the left. Good, good, good. Back up through Devyasana, and then rise back up through the 5-pointed star. Okay, now we're going to turn this into a side lunge. So you may have to change the angle of your feet a tiny bit, but let's see what happens. As you bend the right knee and you bring your left hand onto the left thigh or knee, right arm still reaches out. You're kind of looking to the right. And then come back through center. And then same thing, bend the knee, let your right hand tap the thigh or the knee. Now we're going to take this progressively and go deeper. So come on up. You could keep your hand on the thigh, or you could let your hand come down and touch the shin. Spinning your heart, taking a twist here. Back up through center. Now bend the left knee, right hand comes onto the left shin. Feel like we're getting a nice stretch in the groin and that extended leg as well. And then come back up through center. Now we're gonna reach and see if we can touch our ankle. If at any point you get this becomes too much, stay at the previous stage. Come back up. Left ankle. Now this next time we're going to touch the top of our foot, maybe even the outside of the foot. So bend the knee, hold on to the outside of your foot, even a hand on the top rather, or the outside. And breathe here. Keep your torso long. Find the rotation. Sink into this Skandasana, the side lunge. Back up, over to the left. Now, one more time, your fullest expression will hold. So go over to the right, find whatever it was, your most challenging part of it for you today. And now stay here and bring your right leg towards straighter. Lengthen your torso, bring out your belly. You could always have this arm by your side on your sacrum, on your hip, partial bind, the upper arm. And then slowly, you can soften the knee to rise back up. Last time, other side. So find your fullest expression. And then bring the leg towards straighter. Nice. Soften your knee. Rise back up, 5-pointed star. Bring your hands onto your hips. Good job. Now let's go into our warrior sequence that we'll do on each side. And to get ready for that, to get prepared, let's bring our blocks onto the high side of our mat like so. Okay. And then you're still sort of in your wide-legged stance facing the front of the long side of your mat. So turn that right leg out and turn your left toes in. So get ready to find warrior 2 legs. And then when you're ready, you can soften your knee. In fact, let's keep our legs straight. We'll send our arms wide to the side, and then we'll exhale and lower our, bend our knee and lower into warrior 2. And do this a couple of times. As you're doing it, Keep lifting through your torso and keep your arms a little higher than usual, a little higher than shoulder height. This is called flying warrior when we do this. So let's stay in this flying warrior, hold it here, and feel that we've got more lengthening through the side body. Really reach through fingertips, squeezing shoulder blades together, supporting your heart. Now, we can turn our palms down and go into a little more traditional warrior two, activating arms, looking down the middle finger of your right hand. Adjusting your stance if necessary, making this knee happy. Drawing it toward pinky toe side of foot. Lower your left hand to your left hamstring. Reverse your warrior, maybe even going a little deeper into the lunge of the front leg. Oh, looking up at your hand. And breathe. Breathe into the right side body. Strong legs, strong legs. So let's keep our legs where they are as we rise back up through the warrior two and go into a side angle. So your right hand or forearm could come onto the thigh. The hand could float down towards the earth. Left arm by side to sky or overhead. And use this arm and leg, whatever arrangement they're in, as leverage to find more rotation as you spin your heart to the sky. And then windmill back up to the warrior two. Straighten your front leg. You might step in if you want because we're going into triangles. Lower the left hand, right arm to sky or by the side to reverse the triangle. Noticing the difference now with our straight leg, getting the nice psoas muscle to lengthen. Maybe because when that lengthens, it kind of like we've talked about this before, the muscle fibers kind of interdigitate with our diaphragm so that when you do this with a straight leg, you might feel like you can breathe deeper or more effortlessly. So see what that feels like. And then slowly come on back up, going right into triangle pose, tucking your right hip under, reach forward with the torso, lower right arm down, left arm by the side, or up to the sky. And breathe here. And finding length. See if you can find as much length on the bottom side as the top side. What about that? Take one more breath. And then soften your right knee. Look down at your right foot. Bring your hands, pivoting on your left foot, bring your hands onto your blocks. Now we're gonna go do a warrior three, supported warrior three as our balance pose, and there'll be an option to rotate. So, hands are on the tall side of the blocks. The right foot is underneath your hip, and you're gonna lift your left leg. Lengthen from crown of head to left heel. Tone your belly so that you're not putting all of the weight into your arms. You're really strong, have a strong body here. Good. Now you can stay here if you're happy, but if you'd like to take this into a half moon, and you may have to adjust your hands, you're going to ground into the right hand, start to open up your torso to the left, maybe, opening up that top hip and maybe sending your left arm to the sky. And then you'll come back through your warrior three, your supported warrior three. Left toes go down towards the earth, and then we're going to rotate to the right. So the left arm grounds, the right arm lifts or comes onto your hip. Left leg stays lifted, and you're going to feel a deep rotation from your belly. And then you can come back through the supported warrior three and do that one more time each direction. Even moving in our balances like this is challenging. So go easy. Oops, there we go. I just fell. Come back through center. Maybe twist to the right. Come back through your supported warrior three. And then soften your right leg. Grab hold of your blocks. Lower your left leg down. Rise up. Pivot your feet towards the long side of your mat. Bring your blocks over to the left. Leave them there for right now. And come back up into our prasarita, our wide-legged stance. Good job. All right, warrior two legs on the left side. Left thigh rolls out, toes roll out. Right leg is 90 or turned in. Send your arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, bend the left knee. Keep your arms higher than shoulder height. Flying warrior. Straighten the legs and arms skyward. Exhale, lower down. One more time like that. Inhale and exhale. Now stay here, keeping this length through your torso. Like equal length on each side of your body, of your torso. Find, your happy leg position, knees over the ankle, back legs active. And then lower your arms to shoulder height, palms down. Look down the middle finger of your left hand. Find your comfortable seat. Reverse your warrior by letting the right arm lower, left arm to sky. Maybe even lunging a little deeper. Up to you. Just make it feel good, right? It doesn't matter how far we go. And then rise backing up through warrior two. And let's take our side angle, whatever that is on this side, which might be different. And keep your torso long, spinning your heart open, using the leverage of the left arm and leg to get more rotation. Strong back leg. One more breath. And let's windmill all the way back up through the warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Lower the right hand, reversing our triangle. And always know the drishti is either down at the back foot or up to the upper hand. Up to you. Or of course, even looking forward. So you might, when we turn our drishti like that, it gives us this, this focal point, but also we are subtly even finding rotation in the neck. And then come back up through the starting position, tuck the left hip under, go right into triangle pose. Keep grounding through back leg, lengthening torso through crown of head. One more breath. And then soften your knee. Lower your torso down to frame that foot. Find your blocks. Hands under shoulders. Left leg under left hip as the right leg lifts. Supported warrior three. So get stable here. Find length from crown to heel. Strong legs. Try to keep that left hip squared. The right hip squared down toward your mat. Belly toned. When you're ready, if you'd like to, you start to now open up the hip as you send that right arm to the sky for balancing half moon. Lower your hand down, coming through the supported warrior three, and then take your revolved half moon, Parivrita Ardhashtrasana. And then lower your hand down, staying here or doing it one more time each side. Here we go, switching. Last time. Find as much rotation as you can. Lower your left hand onto the block. Lower your right foot next to your left. Inhale, take a half lift. Exhale and fold here, back into a forward fold. If you want, you can take hold of your yogi toes, your yogi toe lock. You can hold on to your legs any place. Taking a nice forward fold. And then let's take a big inhale, lift up halfway. You can Open up your feet. We're going to go down to the earth, and I'm going to invite us to go by way of malasana. So it might be that your malasana is you just bend the knees and your forearms come onto your thighs, and you could stay here. Or you could start to make your way down to seated, by lowering one knee. But if you'd like to take a squat, you could bend your knees and draw your tailbone towards the earth, even bringing your hands to prayer in front of your heart. So find some sort of squat variation or make your way towards seated, up to you. Keep drawing tailbone, broad across collarbones. Then yogis, when you're ready, you can bring one hand behind you, the other hand behind you, and gently come on down, or plopping when necessary. So here we are in our seated little seated position with bent knees. Now we're going to work into our Navasana and then roll down onto our backs. So with your feet grounded, you can hold on to your hamstrings for a moment. Lift your heart and then lean back a little bit so you feel that your belly is kind of working. That's what we're going to strive for in this whole sequence. We want to keep a nice long spine and feel that we work our low belly. Okay, so now lift back up and then keep your toes down and lift your heels. Reach forward with your arms and up a little higher than shoulder height. Even come forward with your heart. Reach, and then lean back. Maybe even making gentle fists and pulling your arms back like rowing at your side waist, and lean back till you feel your belly working. And go forward and then pull, kind of like row back and feel that you're working the low belly. Keep the heels lifted as best you can because that makes it a little more challenging here. Two more. Last time. Good job. Come forward. Maybe hold on to the legs. And let your heels relax if that was a little tense in the heels, in the feet. Lift the heels again if you want. This time we're going to turn slightly to the right, arms out to the side, and then lean back into that place where you feel the low belly. Your heart is still lifting. And then come back up. So we're just going over to the right to work our obliques a little bit. So just work over here and come back up and lower and back up. You can even bring your hands to heart if you like. And two more. And last time. Come back up. Take a pause, rotate to your left, and then lean back until you feel the low belly working. Keep your heart lifted, rising up, and exhale and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen, exhale and fold. Inhale and exhale, two more. Inhale, exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale. Good job. Come back through center. Arms back to center. Lower your hands. Even give your legs a hug if you like into a seated child's pose. Good. Now let's do one round of full Navasana if you want. Now you can always go back to the previous stage where you lift your heels, or you could lift your legs to a tabletop, reverse tabletop. Okay, so now if you can, and at any point, if you're in a tabletop and it becomes too much, you can always lower one foot down and then alternate. No, not really fast, but just slowly during one round and then slowly during the other round, okay? So here we are. So finding your balance point, lifting your heart, sending your arms to the sides if you can, then let the legs and arms, torso draw away. So you feel the low belly working, and then bring them in. And then let your arms and legs move away, and then bring them in. Move away and bring them in. 2 more. Lower and then draw it in. Lower and hold here. Maybe you can bring your legs towards straighter, taking your full Navasana, Paripurna Navasana, lifting your heart. And then slowly lower down. Keep reaching your fingers towards your toes, reaching the toes away. Low Navasana, and then lower all the way down. Oh, bring your arms overhead. Take a big stretch from fingers to toes. And breathe here. Good job. Maybe stretch again, stretching the skin on your belly, reaching from fingers to toes. Stretch, 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 and then release. Good job. Nice. Notice how you're feeling now. Bend your knees, plant your feet on the earth. Actually gonna move back a little. All right. Just pause here in constructive rest. Now we'll do a bridging, but we'll do a single leg bridge. So you can find a good position for your heels, ground your feet, your arms. And then let's lift one leg. We'll start with our right leg, and you can lift it, a little, doesn't matter, like thigh height, even with the left thigh, or you can lift it up to the sky. It doesn't matter, up to you. Right? And so grounding through left foot and hands, tone your belly, lift the tailbone, your pelvis, and then lower down. A couple times like that. Lifting and lowering. So this is a super strengthener for that left leg. A little stretch from the belly after all of that abdominal work. One more time. Lifting and hold. Hold, hold, hold. And then lower back down. Bend your right knee, cross your right ankle over the left knee. Nice figure 4 shape. You can press the right thigh away, get some space in your hip socket, stay here if you like, or thread the needle by drawing that left leg in. Then you could use your right elbow to press the right thigh away. So get a nice outer hip stretch here. So feel that. Try not to let that knee collapse in, right? You want to keep it going away. But don't press on your knee, press on your thigh. And then the left leg, as it hangs out here, maybe you could add more rotation and flexion to the ankle. Nice. And then slowly lower your leg down. You can bring your arms out like a T. And we're going to do a twist. So final twist. So lift from here, before we go anywhere, lift your hips up and scooch them over to the right 2 inches, then lower them back down. Then lift your legs and send your legs slightly over to the left and then back up. And so you're rolling over the left side of your hips and just get like easing into your twist. You don't have to do this, but I think it feels nice because this could be a lot. And then find your knee down twist. Maybe you're going to keep your figure 4 shape, or maybe you need to adjust and just, release the top leg or extend the bottom leg. Whatever you need to do, find your knee down twist. Take one more breath here. And then slowly bring your gaze back to center. Bring your legs back to center. Release the top leg. Bring your hips back to center. And take a pause. Lower your arms back by your sides, palms down. Right foot grounds, left leg lifts to some degree, like maybe even with thighs or up to the sky. And when you're ready, single leg bridging, lifting up, really lengthening through the right knee, lower down, and lift, and lower, and lift, And lower. So this is really great if you need a little extra conditioning in your knees. And 2 more. And last time. And then lower on down. Bring the left ankle over the right knee. Find your figure 4, space in your left hip socket. Keep the left foot dorsiflexed. Stay here or thread the needle. Add movement to your right ankle if you like. And then slowly lower the right foot. Pick up your hips, send them over to the left about 2 inches. Arms out like a T as you pick up the legs and start to slowly rotate over to the right. And back to center. And rotate a couple of times like that. And whenever you're ready, you can hold the knee down twist. Notice if you need a different variation on this side. And see if you can look in the opposite direction of your legs. Bring your gaze to center, your legs to center, your hips to center. Sweep your arms by your sides and maybe bring both knees in towards your chest, like a supine child's pose. Maybe rocking side to side if you need a little massaging, across your low back or your sacral region. Even peeling head to knees, knees to head. And then slowly, when you're ready, releasing one leg, then the other. Taking a big inhale and exhaling it out with a sigh. Palms up to the sky. As your legs drop out, grounding your sits bones or your hip points. Turn your palms up and squeeze shoulder blades together. Opening up across the heart. Take a big inhale. On an exhale, softening the belly. Maybe yawn, sighing it out. Parting your jaw. Softening your eyes. Feel the back of the head rest against the earth. Take one more willful inhale here, big inhale. And exhale it out. As you rest here for these next few moments to integrate your practice, restore your vital energy, and absorb the Shanti, the peace of yoga. Open to the power of comfort. Packed in the back of my Jeep, I stored my favorite red woolen blanket. I didn't need it for warmth because I didn't sleep in the cold. I needed it to remind me of the importance of comfort. Open yourself to receive comfort, the comfort that touches the heart and nurtures the soul. Many of us grow up and lived our lives without experiencing true comfort true nurturing. Many of us didn't know it existed, but at some level, that's what we've been looking for. Comfort is the loving arms of a mother who sees only the beauty of her child, a mother who attends to the needs, who nurtures the heart and the soul of her child. The kind of comfort is acceptance and love at its finest. Open your heart to receive comfort. Learn to give it too. Comfort touches and heals our souls. Take it with you like a favorite blanket wherever you go. So allow your breath to deepen. Gently rock your head from side to side. Bring movement to fingers and toes. And sweep your arms overhead, reaching up through fingers and down through toes. Tucking your chin into your chest, like you're just waking up. And then sweep your arms around by your sides and give your legs a squeeze. And then with bent or straight legs, you can roll to your right side and rest there for a moment. And ready to begin again, you can use your right hand or right elbow and left hand to sit up slowly, bringing your head up last to a comfortable seat. Let's draw our hands together at heart center. And seal our practice by joining our voices in the sound of Om. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. Namaste.